Let's say you have been asked to apply columns in this first paragraph and then a drop cap. First thing that you have to do is highlight everything, and you come to page layout, choose the number of columns from here, these columns. I will suggest that you go to more columns, because you can be asked to, when you put say 2 columns, you can be asked further to put a line between the 2 columns. So you can see that you have a provision here. Otherwise, I will cancel here. If you only chose this as 2, you'd have no option of putting a line between the 2 columns. So go here, come to more columns and line between, and you see the preview, then you click OK. So at this point, you can now apply a drop cap, and you'll go to Insert. To apply a drop cap in the Insert tab, come to the text group and you click on Drop Cap. When you drop cap dropped, this one is by default will drop by 3 lines. I would also advise you to move to drop cap options, from where you can be able to do a little more. So click on dropped, and you can change the font. Right now the font is Arial. You can change it, say, to say Arial rounded empty bold. Lines to drop, you pick from here 4, 5, then you click OK. That is how beautifully it can appear once you have done all that. Now let's say you have been asked to copy the last paragraph to the next page. Right now this document has only 1 page. So if you want to copy this whole paragraph to the next page, you make sure you have selected it. Come to Home, then you choose the option Copy. Then right in front of the last paragraph, press Ctrl plus Enter. Press Ctrl plus Enter. Ctrl plus Enter moves the cursor to the next page, from where then you can be able to paste. And so you have 2 pages. Okay, now if you are supposed to say, let me undo. If you are supposed to say copy this last paragraph to page 3, but this is page 1 only, it means that you first have to highlight here, copy, position the cursor right in front of this, take note of what number is here, press Ctrl plus Enter. Now you have 2 pages here, but we are supposed to take it to page what? Page 3. So you have to press Ctrl plus Enter again, and so this is going to be page 3. Then we can paste the text in page 3. So you will see that page 2 is blank, page 3 is having the information. And you can apply borders to your text. How do you apply borders? Come to page layout, come to page borders, and you can pick the style of your page border. From here you can pick this. When you say apply to whole document, it will be applied to the whole document. When let's say OK, so you will see that that will be applied to the whole document. Let's modify that by going back to page borders. We can change the color to this blue or to green. We can also change the width of that border to say 2, and we could change it to have maybe this art. Are you seeing that? We want this other one here that we modified. When we say OK, it applies to the whole document, as you can see also. If you are required to change the paper size, when you're in page layout, choose size, then you can pick the size. A4 is a standard plain paper size. You can also customize it to say A5. A5 is much smaller. The lower the number, the smaller the paper. A5 is smaller than A4. So you can also be further asked to pick other sizes from here. say A3. You can customize the size by adjusting your own width and size and height, that kind of thing. Then you say okay. That one is customized. Meanwhile, you can also set the margins. There are defaults here. You can pick normal. It means that the top margin is 1 inch, left margin 1 inch, bottom margin 1 inch, right margin 1 inch. Narrow, this is how you can see. But you can also custom the margins of a paper. From where then you can say, let the top margin be, let it be say 2.5 inches, and left margin maybe 3 inches, and bottom margin maybe 1.5, and the right margin is 1.6. That is all up to you. Then you say, okay. If you want the computer to maintain these settings for you, you click Set as Default, so that each time you open Microsoft Word, it gives you this as the default settings for your document. Otherwise, if you don't want to set these settings at the default, what you need to do is simple, is click OK for this particular document. So you can see how funny these settings are. That is how the text will be typed if you are typing with that setting. You may also want to insert a picture. To insert a picture, you click Insert. You need to know where you have stored your picture. When you click Insert, there is this button here in Illustrations group. You click Picture. So I will go to my material documents and pick this picture. I will double click on it and it drops it here. So I can be able to resize it. I can resize it by coming to the corners like this. To resize it proportionately, I have to do this. So I will drag inwards. If I need to pick this picture to this corner here, first part of this, I need to pick position, and I click on this option here. So you actually see that it places it there. So if I want to make it appear just in line with this first paragraph, I drag it downwards, as you see. Okay, I keep dragging it, as you can see, to affect it. Okay, like that. Otherwise, I could also change the position by taking it to the right. Okay, but I can still adjust it like that, or put it in the center. You see, once you have put it in the center like that, you can also wrap it. So what happens when we say behind text? Are you seeing? When you choose that option, it sends the picture behind text. I will undo. We can also crop this picture if we do not want to see this part of the road and we want only, say, this part here in the center. I simply crop. So when it's like that, I move like that. I also come to this side. I also come to this side. I come to this part. After that, I click out. Now that is how it looks like. I will click on this if I want to change its height by simply coming here. Maybe I want this to be 2.5 inches, and this should be 3.23. I press enter. So you can be asked to adjust the height. Okay, this is in inches. Remember, if you have to change into centimeters, you have to go to File. If you are using Office 2007, you have to click on the Office button. You go to Options, then you come to Advanced, then you move down until you see, where is that? Okay, you move down until you see inches, then you change this into centimeters, then you say okay. So the settings here are in centimeters. So if your document is originally in inches, you have to make sure that you adjust it, you change it into centimeters. before you can get the desired size. You can also go further to modify this picture. How? See the picture styles. When you pick this, that's what happens. You pick that, that's what happens. You pick these others, okay? Yeah? You see? Yeah? So, depending on which one you find very interesting, you can, nice for you, you can click on that, okay? And now you have your picture a bit modified. You can also be asked to insert clip art. To insert clip art, you need to go to insert clip art, then you click. Once you click clip art, this clip art thing comes. What you can do, you can simply click go, okay? Then it shows you all this. If you are supposed to insert a clip art of your choice, you move until you see something desirable. So you can double click on this and it brings for you this clip art. So once you're asked to insert a clip art, and maybe you are supposed to insert it before the heading, so you can now, after inserting it, you can go to home, cut it, then you can click here, then you can paste, then you can press enter from there and you have your text here. I will undo. If you are supposed to put it below this document, you will cut it from here and then press enter and then you choose the option paste. If you are required to reduce the font size of the document here, you will have to highlight, come to reduce font size, maybe to 10 or say 9. You click there and type 9 and press enter. Then you can be able to see that all your information fits into one page. So you may also be tasked to find out the number of words in your document. To find out the number of words in your document, you simply need to come down here and you see from down here. There are 333 words in this document. Alternatively, you could go to review and click on word count. Word count gives you a little more. So it tells us the number of pages, the words, characters with no spaces as 1,803, while with spaces is 2,129, paragraphs there are 4, lines there are 28. You close. The other thing is to do with a footnote and an endnote. If you are asked to put a footnote in privileges, for example, you will click there next to privileges, then you make sure you are in references. In references here, you'll be able to insert a footnote. When you insert a footnote here, it takes you to the end of that page. And if the footnote text that you're supposed to put for privileges is benefits, you type benefits. Now, what is the difference between a footnote and an endnote? Before I can give you the difference between a footnote and an endnote, let me first undo this. The alternative way of putting a footnote is by pressing Ctrl, Alt, and F. So it's appearing on privileges. So the footnote text for privileges here, I'm putting, say, benefits. This you'll be given if you are required to put a footnote. You can be given by the person testing you, say your teacher or whoever else is testing your knowledge on Microsoft Word. Now, this is one page. Now, assuming we copied this text to the following page, right now we have one page, so I will press Ctrl and Enter and put on next page like that. Now, you will see that a footnote comes to the bottom of the page where it has been inserted. What about an endnote? Remember, now we have two pages. This is our second page. Assuming you have been asked to put an endnote to conditions and the text is apply both to teachers and students. Now, you will position it here and press Ctrl, Alt, and D. You will see that the endnote goes to the end section of the document. So, these conditions apply to both students and staff. So, that is the difference. I will undo this. Then I use references section. I will click here, go to references, then choose the option insert endnote. Then these conditions apply to both staff and students. By now you should be knowing the difference between an endnote and a footnote and when you can apply them. Endnotes are normally used to cite the sources of the information, while the footnotes in most cases are used to give a little more information about the text in the document. Please do not tell me that you are tired, because there is yet a lot that you need to see. To generate a table of content, normally when you open Microsoft Word, there's a default font, which is Calibri. It's a default font for 2007, 2010, but you can modify this. But I advise that you maintain this if you have to create a table of content. You will change this after you have done the typing of your document. Assuming that the heading of this document is supposed to be Microsoft Word Made Easy. I press enter, and I want to format this. I want this to be a heading. So what I will need to do is to highlight it. After highlighting this, in the home tab, I come to styles. I come to title. I click there. I have formatted that. Now for this day one, make sure you make this remain as the default. Okay, when you are typing your document, you don't change anything here. You maintain the font, you maintain the font size. I position my cursor there, I press enter. Then this I want to format this as heading 1. So instead of me struggling with the same thing, repeating, say when I go to day 2, then I come again, click on heading 1. I will undo. I will simply use a format painter. So after applying this as heading 1, I need to highlight it. Then I come here and double click. You double click if you want to transfer the formatting to more than one place. You single click if you are going to transfer the formatting to only one place. So I double clicked it because I'm going to transfer the formatting to more than one place. So I will scroll and look at this heading 2. I click. Then I scroll, I look for day 3 also. Then I look for day 4. Okay? Then I touch escape. I'm done with heading 1. Now this lesson 1 is supposed to be heading 2. After I've applied to the first one, say over in this, I need to double click this, then look for another lesson like that. I will skip others so that we can see what to do with it. 12 and even this other, and the yes, okay, highlight that and click, just click on that, click on that, click on that. Yes. So once I am done, if there is also another heading that I need to have a formatting on, I need to escape, then pick it as maybe heading 3. The headings that at the same level have to share the heading format. So day 1 is at a higher level than lesson 1. So to insert the table of content, I will click inside here, then go to references, table of contents, then I can pick this or this other one. Let me say table of contents, and quickly it has generated that table of contents. You will notice that Here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There is no 7, no 8, no 13. So we shall go back to our text, look for 7, which is here. So we shall highlight this, go to home, double click and highlight this one. So we look for 8 also and highlight it, look for 13 also and we highlight it, then we escape. You have to remember to update your table of contents. So you come here, you right click and you say update field and you say update entire table. You click OK. So you'll now see that there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, here 12, 13 also is here, 16, 17, 18, 19. Yes, good. You can now modify this document. You can change the font style, change styles, come to this styles. Then you can pick something like elegant. You see how it changes the text, or you can change to modern. That is how fantastic it will appear. You can be able to play around with your text. You can go further, come here to styles, and you right click this part and you say modify. Then you can change the font to say, do you want to change the font? Yes, maybe to book Antiqua. Okay, and maybe you want to change the font size to 11. When you say only in this document, it will only affect this document. When you say new document based on this template, it will apply to new documents based on this template. In this case, I'm only updating for this document, so I will say OK. So you see how it has updated the document. Are you not happy about that? See, very nice. So just a quick reminder on inserting page numbers. Come here, page numbers, go to format page number, and if you want this style, you click OK. If you don't want that style, you can simply change it from here and say OK. Then you come to page numbers. Okay, so let me remove this. I've removed. So I simply insert page number and say bottom of page, and I click on this. This should appear in all the pages. Good. Great. Then I can close. Very nice. There's still something that I want to share with you. Very important.